dear friends, welcome back again. So happy you popped over again to see what I am up to today. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny and I hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, I hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone here who is not subscribed to my channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and of course, hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Like I always say, enough talking and let's jump into today's inspiration. You see already, the table is ready for a new DIY inspiration. Of course, we are going to use the tumbling tile blocks, the smaller blocks. Of course, we have here the container with a lot of you already know with everything inside we need. Of course, the main part is of course the wood glue. You can use some hot glue, but I don't recommend it. Just use, if you can, the wood glue, but of course you can use it. I have here my paint. Of course, you can choose any color. You can use some spray paint, some silver, gold, do anything you like. I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel to wipe away the glue. And for today I'm going to do something new because I bought this kind of we call it stencils. I don't know how you call it, but this is kind of a plastic and you can paint over it, so it will be a chicken. So we will see how this will turn out. Of course, I can't tell you how many blocks we use because it's every time the same. I always say make sure that you have 4 until 5 packages laying around and you can make every DIY. But for this DIY, I don't know how many we will use. So I hope you're going to do this together with me. So our first step will be, of course, 5 rows of 9 blocks. So 5 rows of 9. We're going to get, of course, our wood glue and we're going to do the smallest line of the blocks. So on the side and place them again, each other again. So this way, and of course, just make one nice line over here. And the number 8 and number 9 is of course the closure up. I do one together with you again and then the rest I do a little faster. And of course this channel is all about step by step because of course it takes a little bit longer of your time, but for everyone who wants to make it, it is always step by step so everyone can make the DIYs we are going to make on this channel, the All About Christmas channel, and of course it is all about Christmas and more, but we do a lot of Christmas, but you can also change it up for the season. So this is not only a Christmas, it is a lot of Christmas, but of course also for all seasons. And now I'm already almost there. So I told you I would do it a little bit faster, but of course, I always talk a little bit too much. So I'm going to do this one also a little faster. So now I did all 5 rows and now I'm going to go from the inside to the outside. I'm going to squeeze it over here. Make sure that you have a nice straight line. And like a lot of you already know, if you have a carpenter's square, just use it if you like it better. I always do it with my fingers. So go from the inside to the outside and then squeeze it again. We do here the same. From the inside to the outside and then give it some pressure on both ends. And again over here, this one is a lot smaller than the other one I already see because the blocks are never the same. I'm going to look for if I can work with it, or else I'm going to do it on the side because if we're going to temp it with our paint, it's always difficult if you have different layers of blocks, but we will see. We're going to try to work with it. So again, always when you do it with your towel, make sure afterwards you always make sure that you have a straight line again, because most of the time it goes out of each other. So we're going to give this a couple of minutes. So you see already we have our 5 pieces and we did let it dry in for a couple of minutes. We're going to turn them this way, this way, this way. And I'm going to place the one with the block is a little bit lower. We're going to place at the ending. We're going to place them on the side. And of course they are still not totally dry, but it doesn't matter if it just fall apart, just push it together again because it's so easy to do. I still have to use, I did got a new top of my glue, and I think I opened a little bit too far because, because I'm already a clumsy with, with my glue. So, and even when I do it a little wider, it gets only worse. So, but don't matter, don't mind me. Just look what I'm going to do. That's better. Then I'm going to press it from the side because we don't want to have open gaps. We're going to easily fill in the open gaps because it has to be one plank. And of course, place it together, feel with your fingers on the sides that you have a nice straight line. We're going to wipe away the glue because we want to be sure that everything is nicely fitting. And you see here we have still an open gap, and I'm still, he's already there. So we have a nice plank like this, and if everything is correctly, because my rooster has the sizes, I will tell you in a moment, because I was forgotten mine a ruler. You see already my rooster is in centimeters. He is 15 centimeters. Of course, he's inside of my square, but I only tell you the sizes of this and this. And of course, if everything is correctly, this is also 15. He's 15 by 15. So if you have that size, then you are totally fitting for this plank. And of course, in inches, I will tell you also for everyone who uses inches, it is 6 inches here and 6 inches over here. And of course, you see already the rooster has a little piece over here. And of course, he has a little bit space over here. So I'm going to, if you place it on here and you double it up, he can also be over here. So then you have enough on 5 rows of 9. So I'm going to let this rest, and or else you have to do one a line extra of blocks, or maybe one row extra, just depending on what stencil you are going to use. So I'm going to give this at least, now I think 15 until 20 minutes drying. So I did wait 15 minutes. Now I'm going to get my paint, and I use my creamy chalk paint. It's easy, and it is always quick drying, but you can use anything you like. You can spray paint it. Like I told you, if you are more like a gold or silver person, you can also spray paint it, because a lot of people think when you use this kind of wood, or maybe that it is always rustic or maybe some farmhouse style, but you can give it any style you like, because I only give you an inspiration. But if you spray paint it in the gold, then you can place your piece on top of here, and you can do the paint in the silver color. I don't know how you call it. We call it a stempelen, but I don't know how you call that, stamping, at least of, yeah, brushing on top of here. You have a name for it. I will look it up in a moment, but I know that there is an name, but it doesn't come. But I tell you in a moment. Don't worry. I'm going to do the first layer. I'm just going to do with my creamy paint, and of course I paint the whole piece. So I'm going to first do this side, and then I'm going to turn it over, and I take my time for it, because it's always better take your time for some painting. So you see our plank did dry up. What we're going to do, I'm going to place it down on a piece of kitchen towel, because I don't want to scratch any side of my piece, because I don't know what I'm going to make from it. So we only make the plank, and then we're going to work further. It's a different approach to something, but I hope this will work, because I did want to find out if I am good in making this kind of stencils over here. So I'm going to place mine on top of here, and of course you can get some tape and tape it on top of your piece, but I don't want to do it because I'm a little scared that my paint is going off. So I'm going to get my sponge, and you see already this is this kind of sponges, and you have a round on the side, so you can dab it the paint. So I'm going to do some paint on the underside, and of course this is too much, and I'm going to dab it on my table, because I'm first, this can totally go wrong that I have to paint the whole piece again, but we will see. And I'm just going to dab it on top of here. I really have no idea if this will work or not. We will see. And I'm going to go slightly slowly down around the rooster, and I'm just going to dab it and I don't want to have it a really thick layer, but you can do anything you like, of course. So I'm going to dab again on my table, and I'm going to work my way down, and I'm going to do piece by piece and dabbing it off the table, and I'm going to go down and over here the feet. And I don't know, maybe this will blur totally under my piece and you say, what's she doing right now? Because you probably do it differently, but this is my first time. Just going to try it, and I'm just going to look for where it will bring me. Maybe it brings me nowhere, but we will see. At least I can say I tried. And every time you learn and learn, the many times you are going to do it, but I saw a lot of people doing it, but I never did. So we will see how this will turn out. So I'm going to take my time, and I go now only his tail of the rooster, and then I'm going to look for how he is turned out. Of course, if this takes a little bit too long of your time, because it's for me the first time, just go skip forward, but I'm going to take my time for it. And I hope that when I'm going to get my stencil off, that it looks nice, but I really have no clue and no idea. But before I'm going to take it off, I want to be sure that I did paint everything, at least in the color. Of course, you can still paint it again, but I think I'm a little scared that he did run under my piece. So I think I have everything. And now I'm going to give it a little moment to dry in, but I'm really too scared to get it off. So, oh, you see already, I did go out of the piece. Oh my, I see it already. Oh, I'm going to look for. So you see, this is how he is looking like. At least I can see that it is a rooster. I show it to you this way because I also show you the mistakes. Of course, I have to go with the white on top of here. But for the first time, at least it is a rooster. You can see that it is a rooster. So I'm going to clean my stencil up, and I'm going to do the other side, but I'm going to turn the stencil over so they are looking at each other. But you see that in a moment. So I cleaned up my sides. Of course, what I did, the rooster itself is if you didn't try it the same like I did, I just say try it because it is easy to do. But what I did wrong, because I hope to do it with the second one and not wrong, is that I took it off. And of course, what I did it too wide, because if you look, I have the sides on top of here are only a little piece of plastic on top of here, and also on the underside is only a little piece of plastic. And because my stamp is a little bit bigger, then you go woo this way. Of course, here it doesn't matter too much but try to stay inside of the plastic, because what I did, I was going, and of course I had a little piece over here and I had a little piece over here, but the rooster itself was fine, but only I did it on the outside. So be careful if you have this kind of plastic stencils. Of course, be sure that you keep it inside of the plastic stencil, because that's what I did wrong. I messed up on the side and not on the rooster itself. So I still recommend it. It's a little bit of a task, but take your time for it, and then it is a lot of fun. But you have to use this kind of sponge, but I think everyone can buy them anywhere, so you can sponge it up on top of here, and that works fine. So I'm going to let this dry in, and then I'm going to turn this one over, and we're going to do this one on the other side. So this one is dried right now, and now I'm going to place this one over here in the same on the underside of course over here, and if everything is correctly, they are all equal on top of each other. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do some paint, of course, over here, and I'm going to dab it. And now I'm going to very carefully, and I try to stay a little bit more to the inside, but of course it is a little bit of a task, and I'm going to do this very relaxing, and of course I don't bore you with that. So I'm going to dab this one also on top of here. So you see, this is how both of them now turned out, and I think I'm really happy with the first attempt. I can highly recommend. I bought this on Temu, like I told you, 6 from this kind of stencils, all with chickens in different sizes, were only $2.79. So you don't have to leave it for the price, because the price is very cheap, but probably a lot of you can find them in your stores. It's here in the Netherlands, it's not that common to find this kind of stencils that you can dab on and make your rooster, or in every size. Now I'm going to order online a couple of them, but of course in different things, because you have so many things on Temu and AliExpress, so, and probably also on Amazon. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to make the rest around our piece. So we're going to get our 2 roosters, and we're going to lay them over here. We're going to get 4 blocks. We're going to glue them together, and this way, this is one, and this is one, and place them together. We do again a set of 2, do some glue on the smallest line, and the last piece of 2, again some on the longest smallest line. We're going to squeeze them, so you have 4 pieces of 2, and we're going to squeeze and let them dry in for a couple of minutes. So I gave it a couple of minutes, and I'm going to place on the top some glue, and of course it is not totally dry yet, but we're going to work with it. And again, we're going to squeeze it this way, and we're going to do here the same. Make sure that on the underside, on the tops, there is a straight line on this side and this side, or else you have to get another block, because we want that everything has a nice straight line. We're going to wipe away the glue over here, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest. So we have our 2 pieces of 4. We're going to place this over here. We're going to get our plank with our roosters on top. We're going to do some glue on the top over here, and we're going to place them against here and squeeze it. As it's in the ending, the first block, and then you place it over here. Is the attachment point from the first to the second is over here, so you have this line is the same, so you keep over 1 block. You see, this is what you keep over on this side. So you do it on this side, and you do on the other side the same. You place this over here also this way, squeeze it, and if everything is correctly, you also have on this side 1 block. You see, 1 block over. So you're going to make sure that you wipe away the glue this way, and we're going to let this dry at least 25 minutes, because we need that it sticks together. And then we're going to, in the meantime, we're going to make our piece in between. Now we have on our table 2 rows of 4 blocks. This way we're going to do some glue on the top, place it down, some on the top, and place it together, and number 3, and we place it together until 1 piece. We're going to squeeze it, and this way we're going to wipe away the glue, and we do here the same. Do it on the top. We do it over here and roll them together until 1 piece, and number 3, and again number 4 is the closure up, and again you're going to squeeze it this way. And you know what the greatest thing is? I really have no idea what I'm making, so I just make it on the spot. I really have no idea how this will turn out and how it will look like. So I hope you go this adventure together with me, but that's most of the time. I never have a clue, but I do my best. You see already this way, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. In the meantime, while these 2 are drying, we are going to get another set of 4. the same like we did with the other one. And we're going to, I have to wipe away the glue. And we do over here. We do them over here. And again, also on number 3. And placing it up with number 4. We do here the same. What I also could have told you is just make 4 pieces of 4. That would be the same, but I do it a little bit difficult because I just made it. I think it also can use a border, so that's why we do it this way, but you need 4 pieces of 4 like this. And I'm going to let this dry also a couple of minutes. Now we're going to place one of them on the side. We do some line of glue over here in the middle, and we're going to place 2 of them together this way and press it and this to make one nice piece out of it. Try to get it as even as you can. So we're going to wipe away the glue this way, and we're going to place it very carefully on the side because then it dries a little better. So we gave now the 2 pieces of 4 which are glued together, we gave them a couple of minutes. What we need now, we do some glue on the underside of this one. Just do, and of course it's not totally dry yet, so if it falls apart it doesn't matter. We're going to place this one on the top side and glue it over here. Press from the underside. We do here the same. We do make a line on the underside over here, and we're going to place it straight up, and we're going to place this one over here, and again give it some pressure and over here. Now we get a loose block, and we're going to do some glue on the side, and over here. So very easy this way, and we're going to place it over here. We do here the same, a little piece here and on the sides again this way, and we're going to place this one over here, and we're going to give this some pressure. And if everything is correctly, it's sticking a little bit on the inside on both of the sides, so make sure that you have this even. So, and now we're going to let this dry in before we're going to paint it. So in the meantime, while this is drying, I got my bag with my half wooden beads and it's of balls. Of course, you see already, this is what I mean. It's, I have them in different sizes. So I get out the 4 of the very small one, and I buy them always with Temu, AliExpress, just depending on the day and which one of the 2 is cheaper. So because you can buy them already for less money because they are really not expensive. So it's only half wooden rounds. I'm going to place them on the corners over here. Of course, it's a little bit of a task because they are really small and I always use a little too much glue. So it's always for a task for me, but probably you do it much better than I do. And I could do this one, and it gives a little bit of a nicer look to your piece. So we're going to press it on the top and over here, and we press it over here and over here. And then we're going to let this dry in also. So in the meantime, while this piece is drying, I did go to my stash. I got out my wooden letters and I am making the word farm fresh, but of course choose any word you like. So I'm going to get my kitchen towel and I'm going to place my letters on top over here like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this one aside to dry. I'm going to get my paint, which one I also choose for my rooster, but you can choose any color. I just do a smaller brush and I'm going to get my paint and I'm going to paint the colors in the brown color. For me it is, and of course, like I told you, just do any color you like. I'm just going to make this one in the brown color so it is later already fit to glue inside of the little tag which will be under the roosters. So in the meantime, while the letters are also drying, I'm going to paint my piece also in the green color, the same like I did with the roosters. And of course I also will paint the underside of the stand where the roosters are standing up, but you see that in a moment. First we're going to do this part, but of course I won't bore you with that. I do this a little faster. And of course, this one is drying, and now I'm going to paint also the under pieces, of course, of our rooster stand. And then we're going to build the under part of this rooster stand. So, of course, I still have to figure out what I'm going to do. So, but first I'm going to go to paint this. So my little tag is finished, of course, at least the piece we were going to glue on top. Now I'm going to get my letters and I'm going to glue them in between. And I do, like I told you, farm fresh, but change it up for the season. Do whatever you think. Maybe you do pumpkins, you can do Christmas, you can do any season at all. You can do maybe Easter later. You can change it up anyway. And of course, if you also can do it, you can place them just with a little piece of sticky gum, and then you can change it up also the words over here. So I'm going to glue this inside. So you see now I did get my top of my, I don't know what it will be, but at least it will be the top. I'm going to glue this on top of here. So I'm going to do some glue on this side and on this side. And I'm going to place it not totally to the top and also not totally to the underside. So a little in between. So I'm going to give it some pressure. And we're going to let this dry in for at least, I think at least a half hour. And now we're going to go further with the underside. So now we're going to make the underside of it, and you can make it any way you like. It's just kind of a crate idea or maybe box. I'm just going to keep it simple because I want to use it as a little bit kind of a tray idea. So I have 2 rows of 5 on my table right now, because first I'm going to make the back side, because the back side has to come on top of the roosters we just made. So, but you see that in a moment. So we do 2 pieces of 5 this way, and we're going to squeeze it. Make sure that you have a straight line. Then this way we could do here the same. We're going to squeeze them. And this way, and we're going to wipe away the glue, and then we're going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So we gave it a couple of minutes. What we're going to do some glue in the middle over here, and it is still not dry, but just place it together, and this way press it, make sure that you have a nice straight line, and wipe away the glue. And let it dry in also a couple of minutes. So now we're going to place this part, because this will be a back side of a box. We are going to do the underside of our rooster. We do some glue over here and on this one. And we're going to place it down, and we're going to do it over here. So at least also you have here 1 block over. And you're going to squeeze it, and this way. Oh, you see already he is not totally dry. Of course I can cut this out, but this is much this is also DIY. You're just going to glue it again. We're going to place it together, and we do the same like we did with the other one. And we're going to make sure that we have everything nicely, and we're going to place it together again. And you see, believe me, this is just going to glue as easy as the other part, because I don't need to press over here. Of course, I must not press, because that's not a great idea to do. So now we're going to let this dry in, of course, for at least a half hour, and we are going to go further with the rest of the box. So now my rooster is drying there right now, so he can't break off anymore. Oh my, this was so stupid of me. How can I press in the inside when it's not totally dry? But you see, this is also DIYing. You are not the only one when things are going sometimes wrong, so don't worry about it. Just glue everything together and it works fine. But it is only just something you must not do. Press in the middle in wood when it's not totally dry yet. Of course, you see me already going with my blocks. We have 5 rows of 5 blocks. So 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. And we're going to do the longest line. We're going to place together, and this way. And this is also a DIY. You just make the best of it. When something goes wrong, you just go further because everyone has mistakes or things that go wrong. And you see, I am one of the first where things are going wrong all the time. So, and I don't mind that people see it because everyone makes mistakes. So I don't care if people see it that this is not perfect because I'm not perfect. So I'm going to squeeze it this way. We're going to go work from the middle out. And so you get 5 pieces of 5 glued nicely together because this will be the bottom. We do here the same. And we're going to squeeze it. We're going to get our wet towel. We're going to wipe away the glue over here. And always, like I told you earlier, afterwards always go back and make a nice straight line again. You see? That's always the most important. If you use a carpenter's square, then you don't have to do it because then it is already straight. So I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So we gave our 5 pieces of 5 a little moment of rest and we're going to turn them this way. And now I hope I can keep them in my hands and not that they are going everywhere. I'm going to do this one and this one. Of course, you're going to place them together and the last number 4. And we're going to place it down and we fill this with this one. And now we're going to gently give it some pressure. And we're going to fill in the open gaps just from the side. And you give it. And then you will see that the open gaps are easy going to go inside. And then you're going to wipe away the glue. And we're going to let this dry in. If you have everything the way you want to have it, then we're going to let this dry in at least for 20 minutes. In the meantime, while the bottom is drying, we're going to do 4 pieces of 2. So you see already, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. What we're going to do, we're going to glue the longest line, and we're going to place them together. Do the longest line, place them together, and over here. And place it together and the last, and we're going to place it together and we're going to squeeze it and over here, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest. So now we're going to take 2 pieces and we're going to do some glue on the side and we place them together. We do here the same and we're going to place them together until one piece, and here the same. Give it some pressure, and of course you're going to wipe away the glue so you can see better if you filled in the open gaps over here, and make sure that you have a nice straight line. And we're going to give this also again a couple of at least 20 minutes drying. And now we're going to do the last part of our box, and it's again 4 pieces in a row, and you do it 2 times. So you do again some glue on the tops. And you do it over here, and number 3 and number 4 is the closure up, and you do here the same, and on this one, and on number 3, and you see we're going to row them in until one piece like this, and you're going to squeeze it. And don't worry if things are going, like I told you earlier, apart. You just stick it together again. For me, it breaks down every time. Even the 4 piece like this is breaking down, you see? And you just place it again and just glue it together and it works fine. So again, let it rest for a couple of minutes. So we did wait a couple of minutes and now we're going to place it on the side. We do some line in the middle over here. And we're going to place it down again and we glue this one also nicely together. Give it some pressure. Feel with your fingers that you have a nice line. And we're going to wipe away the glue also. You still dreaming of me in your dreams. Squeeze, cut, press, place it down, straight line. You can already dream it. And of course, I'm going to let this dry in also 20 minutes. In the meantime, while the parts are drying, of course, I did get my bag with my half wooden balls. And of course, I chose this size. It is a little bit bigger than the other one. What I'm going to do, because I thought my top of my rooster was a little bit, yeah, plain. I don't know if this is the right word, but I liked it a little bit better if this also on each corner will be one of this kind of beads, and then I'm going to paint it over later, of course, but I think I like that a little better. So I'm going to do some glue in the middle, and I'm going to place it over here. I'm going to do some glue on this one. What you also can do, if you don't want to buy the wooden beads, you also can make little rounds of cardboard. If you have a nice piece of cardboard, it's also the same look, because it doesn't matter. You can place also a nail inside with a bigger head. That's also fine. You can do so many ways to give it a little bit more like a high-end look. So use your imagination and you can go as crazy as you like. So I'm going to let this dry also. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do some glue on the underside over here, on this side. I hope you can see it on the underside of this piece. And I'm going to get my bottom, and this is the bottom, of course, and you don't see it because I place it, when I place it in front of here, you don't see it, but I'm going to place it against this piece. So the same like this, I'm going to do it over here. So again, and I see already what I did wrong. I'm going to place this one, and I'm going to place this one in the middle, and we're going to squeeze it, and we make sure that we press it together. And make sure that you have the sides at least in a straight line, and give it some pressure over here and this way. And I see already what I did wrong. You see, I guess I told you we need 2 rows of 4, but we need 2 rows of 5, because if I place it over here, you see already I have here 1 too short. So I have to make this a one longer with 2 blocks. We just very easy do some glue on this side, and we're going to place it. I need to see where I have my block. I have it over here, and we're going to squeeze it and let it dry in for a little moment, and then we're going to glue this one on this one, or we can do it in the immediately. So we do some glue over here, and we're going to make this 1 size longer. That's better, because now he is fitting nice. Nicely. But first we're going to concentrate on this part, and we're going to let this dry in. So now I'm going to do here on this one the same, because we made this one longer right now. Now we're going to do some glue on the underside over here, and we're going to place this one also straight up against the other side, again the same like we did with this side, and we're going to press together, and we're going to give this also a couple of minutes drying. So now we only need to do the sides, and these are the 2 pieces of the 4 blocks glued together, and they are the size we need. Of course, we're going to glue them over here, so we're going to do some glue on the sides. We do it on this side. Oh, I don't see nothing. So because I want you to see it, and we're going to place this one over here. This is one, and now we're going to do the other part, and of course we do it the same. We do some glue on the side, we do it over here, and we do it over here, and we're going to place this one on this side, and we're going to squeeze it nicely together, and then we're going to let it at least dry in for a half hour before we're going to paint the whole piece. So, and again, I'm going to turn my piece against to you, and you see I have again 4 little smaller half rounds, and I'm going to do them on each corner. I'm going to do them also with some wood glue to give also here the same look like we did with the whole piece. So again, place it on the corner, and we do here the same. place it on the corner. And also on the back side of the corner we do the same. And over here. And the last. And then we're going to let this dry and we're going to paint it. So it is almost dry, so I'm going to paint mine. Like I told you, in the rest of the cream we call it the same like we did with this one. Of course, I'm going to take my time for it. You see in a moment the quick impression. And yes, you see already on the table is the quick impression. I had so much fun making this tumbling towel blocks, box, planter, organizer, just what you call it. And I'm so happy how the stencils turned out. I ordered already for the Christmas season some new ones, so I'm really looking forward to that. Everyone who is here and is new, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to my description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. And everyone who is here already for a long time, thank you so much for your friendship. That means the world to me. Of course, everyone, have an amazing day and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.